Namaste. This is the subject of human anatomy and physiology. And today's topic is transport across cell membrane. The cell membrane is the one of the great multitasker of biology. It provides structure for the cell, protects cytosolic content from the environment, and allows cell to act as specialized unit. A membrane is the cell interface with the rest of the world, its gatekeeper, if you will. This phospholipid bilayer determines what molecule can move into or out of the cell, and so is in the large part responsible for maintaining the. Next is semi-permeability. Some cells functions best at a pH of 5 while others are better at pH 7. The steroid hormone aldosterone is made in the adrenal gland but affected mostly like kidney. Sodium is the more than 10 times more concentrated outside of the cell rather than inside. If our cells could not control what across their membrane, either no molecule would make it across, or they had be traveling willy-nilly, and the internal environment would always be in the flux. It had to be like taking every item on a menu and blending it together before serving. So, how do cells maintain different concentration of protein and molecule despite the pressure on them to be homogeneous? Cell membrane are semi-permeable, means they have control over what molecule can or cannot pass through. Some molecule can just drift in and out. Other required special structure to get in and out of a cell, while some molecule even need an energy boost to get across a cell membrane. Each cell membrane contains the right mix of these structures to help that cell keep its internal environment just right. Next, movement across a membrane and energy. There are two major ways that molecule can move across a membrane, and distinction has to be do with whether or not cell energy is used. Passive mechanism like diffusion use no energy, while active transport requires energy to get done. Next is the diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of a particle down their gradient. A gradient is any imbalance in concentration, and moving down a gradient just means that the particle is trying to be evenly distributed even where, like dropping food coloring in water. This is what happened when we made our granola, a bunch of separate ingredients come together and spread across the whole mixture. We can call this evening or out moving or downhill, and it does not require energy. The molecule must most likely to be involved in simple diffusion is water. It can easily pass through cell membrane when water undergoes simple diffusion. It is known as osmosis. So next, what is the simple diffusion? Simple diffusion is a pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Molecule move down their gradient through the membrane. Molecule that particles. Simple diffusion must be small and non-polar in order to pass through the membrane. Simple diffusion can be disrupted if the diffusion distance is increases. If the alveoli in our lungs fill with fluid, the distance that gases must traveling increases and their transport decreases. Facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is diffusion that is helped along facilitated by a membrane transport channel. This channel are glycoprotein, that allow molecule to pass through the membrane. These channels are most always specific for certain molecule or certain type of molecule, and so they are tightly linked to certain physiological function. For example, one such transport is GL24 is incredibly important in diabetes. It is a glucose transporter which is important and found in the fat and skeleton muscles, which in which insulin trigger this transport system to instead into the membrane of this cell. Next is active transport. Sometimes the body need to move molecule against their gradient. This is known as moving uphill and require energy for the cell. Imagine how much energy is to shake the trail mix together that it would be then separate all the piece again. This is most obvious in the sodium potassium channel that helps maintain resting potential in the cell. These proteins use the energy released from the hydrolysis of ATP to pump 3 sodium ion out of and 2 potassium ion into the cell. ATP is an energy molecule, and when hydrolysis happens, it gets broken down to release the energy that was stored in its chemical bond. Transport that directly use ATP for energy is considered primary active transport. In this case, that is moving sodium for a concentration of 10 mm to one of 145 mm. A similar gradient is being surpassed with the potassium. Those intercellular and extracellular concentration are 140 mm and 5 mm respectively. The proton pump are responsible for creating the acid environment. As we know now, proton pump which are present in the structure which create the acidic environment in the stomach and can cause the acid reflux. Proton pump inhibit like omeprazole and pantoprazole are prescribed by the patient to inhibit the proton pump. So you can see here the diagram. Next is secondary active transport. Secondary active transport in this it move multiple molecules across the membrane. ओके इसमें मल्टीपल मॉलिक्यूल्स मूव करते हैं. अप हिल मूवमेंट होता है ऑफ वन मॉलिक्यूल एंड डाउन हिल मूवमेंट होता है अदर मॉलिक्यूल. मीन्स एक ही टाइम पे दोनों चीज़ें अप हिल भी हो रही हैं एंड डाउन हिल भी हो रही हैं. दैट इज़ नोन एज सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्टर. इसमें आता है सिम्पोड एंड एंटीपोड. ओके, so hope you will like this video. For any query you can comment below. Thank you.